beautiful relatives. I'm Sierra Paniwa Felicidad, and may we congratulate ourselves for all that we've been through in the last year, in the last 10 months, all our self-transformation, all our resting points on allowing the transformation to brew in the back burner, so to speak, and to integrate that within our human vessel. It's a beautiful time of listening. It's a beautiful time of embracing the present moment and embracing what can be, what we believe to be, and what could be within our belief system. Because our words and what we believe in manifest our reality, and our present moment, the ever becoming of the present moment, our belief systems is what creates our future. So if we believe in the foundation of love, peace, fluidity, and harmony, then this is what we will experience. So we say thank you to the power of the universe, attracting everything that we need in this moment and everything that society needs. Through the chaos, the rainbow is seen, the rainbow is felt, the rainbow is embraced. And through the chaos, we say thank you. We're holding on to what we know to be true, which is love. We're letting go of everything that is not love. I come today to share a message about identification and the limitedness of identification with the human language. So how do you identify without the categorization of the mind? How do you identify without the use of language, of human language, of English language, whatever language? Because language is not necessary to feel what we are expressing in the moment. So how do you identify? Because words can be the best gift and our gift of creation, and it is that gift of creation, or it can be bondage to an old perception of ourselves. It could be bondage to lower vibrational forms of identification in this 3D vessel. So as indigenous people, we tend to relate to one another from a place, and just as people in general, we tend to relate to one another from a place of trauma, from a place of heartbreak. And this is called trauma bonding. And it's not bad or good. There is the reverence in it all, the respect, the beauty within it all. But how can we relate to one another on a space, in a frequency that is more of an eternal sense, that is forever? How can we connect to one another in a space that will continue to fuel our spirit's growth? How can we connect to one another based on what we learn and how we grow in this human vessel? Because we are supposed to come together, right? I mean, we're supposed to do whatever we want to do, but we're supposed to come together, I feel, which is the most beneficial for our the longevity of the human race. We're supposed to come together and talk about what works for us, what doesn't work for us, and how we can teach each other things. We are always learners to the Great Spirit that lives inside of us, but we can also definitely learn from our friends and our family. But even when we listen to someone else's story about what they go through, we have to allow the person the medicine, them to walk in their own medicine, to go through these trials and tribulations on themselves. Because I don't know how many times I've been told by my elders, like, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. I do the complete opposite. I had to learn the hard way. We always have to learn the hard way because experience is necessary. But it's important to be able to almost guide each other, and help guide each other. Because, like, if we look at everything with no duality, no separation, then everyone that we come in contact with, everyone we interact with, is a mirror to our personality that we choose to express in this moment. So our truest self, how can we become a mirror to our truest self with each other? And in that sense, it doesn't feel the same way that it once does. It almost feels very airy. So how could we ground that actualization of the spirit into the ground and into our bodies and into our vessels and into Mother Earth? This comes with communication, because words manifest and create. But the actions along with those words, may they come in harmony, and may they walk and pave the way to what we want to see and continue to see for the next generations to come, because whatever we lay down in the foundational truth of our being in this moment is what will hopefully be practiced in the future. So we are the way showers of love, and we need to be able to walk in harmony with the sacred responsibility. And so I challenge all of us, as creators of our own reality, as masters of our own heart, our own body, our own spirit, of masters of listening, of masters of surrendering, because listening comes with surrendering. All of it is all intertwined, right? So I challenge us to be able to connect on a space and a frequency that is forever, and to create things that will last forever and eternally for the soul's growth, because it is a beautiful time to be alive. And I just feel like we need to not categorize ourselves, judge other people, basis on what they are or not doing. It's very limiting to our fullest potential. Our fullest potential on earth is to create a society that will live on. And in that living on, in that those things that we create that are forever, it is always fluid, and it is always open to change, because things are going to change the more the younger generations come in. Drastic change. The children, they see, and their medicine will be welcomed when our generation comes and steps into their responsibility. But may the older generation also allow the younger generation to walk in their knowingness, to walk in their love and harmony, and to be able to guide each other regardless of age, regardless of categorization of the mind, because age, race, sex, all of it, categorization of the mind, it does not matter. It doesn't matter. It's just the way that we learn to relate to one another. And so to experience is to relate. And to relate is to identify. And so through our experiences on earth, how do we not identify with it, right? We say thank you for the growth, and we communicate with our Creator about this growth and how it comes to fruition in our daily lives, but to connect to each other basis on old categorizations of the mind. And when I say categorizations of the mind, it's like labels, all right? Like, I'm indigenous, so I'm a survivor of genocide. Well, through that survival of genocide, I'm not just a survivor of genocide. I am harmony. I am compassion. How did I learn these things? Through the survival of genocide. How can we connect to each other about what we learn through this survival? And when I say survival, it transforms into thrival. We are thriving, right? And we have to believe in that. Even if it's society, even if our communities don't seem to be at that point, we have to know within the knowledge of oneself, of the healthiness of our knowledge, the health, like, to get back to the plants, the plant knowledge, the whatever knowledge you carry that is eternal and that is forever, that is what fuels our communities. That is what is potent in our communities, and that is what is sustainable in our communities. And that's why the native way of prayer will never die, because it is relating to the earth, relating to ourselves in that sense. And that is why we can see anything that is unsustainable will fall. And that is why perhaps maybe society is falling. Society is falling in one way or another. And it's not society, it's more so the structures, the bondage, the the it's almost like these ties, they will be cut, because they're not ties of love, they're ties of constraint, they're ties of discipline in like the wrong way, because spiritual discipline is so beautiful and any type of discipline is so beautiful, but when it comes to another person's discipline, taking away your free will and severing your connection to yourself is harmful and harming the way that we interact with each other and connect with each other on an authentic level. And so there's always this competitiveness, and I'm going to tell you right now, that is foreign. That is foreign to our earth. Okay? Competitiveness and fear, scarcity of, lack of, scarcity of resources is foreign to our planet. And where did it come from? We don't need to understand it. We just have to know that we are here to transform it and change it and bring what is of earth back to fruition in our daily life, in our connection to one another, in our connection to the plants, and our connection to ourselves. What is real is love. And not the dysfunctional love that binds you to another person for life, right? Because this life is temporary. Or this type of love that is giving too much or unhealthy, and this love that, where we could connect from a place of like sadness and sorrow. And it's like, it's not like, there's a lot of dysfunctional types of love that we have thought that is real love, right? Like all these love songs, they're dysfunctional. Okay, that's not real love. Love is every moment. Love is when we look in the mirror, when we look at a tree, when we feel what is in the present moment. And there's nothing to be said about that. There's nothing to be understood. It just flows. So like, whenever we are faced with this idea or this conception of love that is stagnant and it has to be this way, and I have this dream and it has to be this, it's like, yo, allow your dreams to be fluid. Allow your dreams to come. Allow your dreams to change. Allow your dreams to shift. It like, everyone is just a mirror of each other anyway. So that like, the divine masculine that you see in that person is within another person, is within another person. The divine feminine, it's not just that person. They're a divine expression, a unique expression of Creator. And that is beautiful, but that should be ever changing, ever evolving, so then we could learn how to ever change and ever evolve with ourselves and how we interact with one another. So I hope this brings some clarification. I don't know, I get these feelings in my heart that I have to share a message. And like all these things that I learn are just teachings from my own experiences of heartbreak, of trauma, and I don't necessarily want to share those experiences. I want to share what I've learned from them, because it is medicine. Everything that we experience is a medicine for us to carry, and it is for us to have compassion, love, empathy, and may we trust. May we trust, because like, we may not know what the hell is going to happen, but in that sense we can tap into the things that you cannot see with the human eye, that you cannot feel with the human touch, that you can only feel in the core of your being. This is called the sixth sense. This is called intuition. which has been numbed for many years through many different things. But it is the time to allow this to flow within us and allow it to guide us, because we have been guided so long by external sources that are not sustainable. So how could we learn to guide each other in a sustainable way that provides compassion, nurturing, support, and flowers for our flowers to bloom, like healthy soil for our flowers to bloom? That is what we are creating. Like, let's get into the soil. The soil has has been broken because climate change and the lack of water. There's a lot with the nutrients, and it needs to be resought. It needs to be created anew. And so we are going back to the basics of going to our soil and turning it over and over and over again, and adding nutrients and adding mycelium, and water, because we have been the destroyer of our ecosystem for a long time. But it's now time to rebuild the soil so healthy plants could grow, and to think about the longevity of it, right? And to think about how our children are going to one day eat those fruits from that tree that we helped mend the soil for. So thank you for listening. As a collective, we're all mending the soil of our social systems, the soil of our every system is being remended. And yeah, it's nice to have a system so things are not chaotic. We need a system for the brain, but it just is let it come. And there's just so much forcing I see with the systems that are here, and it's not this system is built so we can stay in our boxes. We're literally living in square boxes. We should all be living in circle houses, all right? So the spiral comes, the portal comes, the fluidity comes, the water comes, and it's able to flow with that circle. But in our boxes that we created in our mind, of the categorization of the society has kept us in those boxes, and it's not, it's it's like trying to go in circles around a square. It's not gonna work. And we all know that the system doesn't work. We all know it. So let go of it and don't try to hold on to it, because it's the whole system, Babylon, will fall. This is prophecy. So may we just have trust. May we just have trust. And the way showers are coming, the way showers are here. The medicine is here to help heal our planet. The medicine is here. We have to have trust and faith in this. The medicine is here. We are too intelligent as human beings to not believe in this, okay? Believe in our greatness, all right? We are too intelligent to be stuck and stagnant, okay? We need the water. We need the water. We call on the water. Water. Mini bichoni. Come on. But okay. I'm going to leave it off at that. Thank you for listening. I'm just very passionate. Let's bring the fluidity and the change together, because we are going through a birth of ourselves. A birth. And we have to know that maybe we aren't alone in that journey. But we have spirit guides, and we have support in the etheric realms that we cannot even imagine, that we cannot even see. We could feel it if we allow ourselves to feel it. Sometimes it's too much. But we just have to have trust and faith in that the power of oneness is stronger and will always be stronger than separation. So thank you for listening. Matakwe oyasi. We are all related. We are all related. We are all related.